The world that unfolds when you turn on your smartphone is incredibly kind and safe. Videos you like, articles that perfectly match your opinion, and algorithms that target your taste surround you 24 hours a day. In that space, there is no risk of getting hurt, and no chance of your thoughts being denied. Wandering through a world custom-made entirely for you, you feel a deep sense of relief and fulfillment. In psychology, this modern phenomenon of psychological isolation, where people are trapped in a comfortable world of information and taste provided by algorithms, rejecting different opinions or new stimuli, and staying only in their familiar comfort zones, is called nest syndrome. However, it is now time to coldly face the reality of that warm and cozy nest. That place is not your healing space. It is a cruel digital prison, precisely designed to completely block your potential and growth. The real reason your project has been stagnant for months and your will to start something new is helplessly broken every time is not because you lack ability. It is because you are trapped inside this sweet and safe prison, and your wing muscles are completely paralyzed. The reason this phenomenon is terrifying is that it exploits our biological vulnerabilities. The human brain has evolved over tens of thousands of years to conserve energy. When faced with a voice that criticizes us, or unfamiliar knowledge from a completely new field, the brain perceives this as a threat to survival, consumes a vast amount of energy, and induces stress. Conversely, we feel comfortable when we see familiar stories or posts from communities that agree with our thoughts. The algorithms of global big tech companies have learned this weak nature of human beings precisely. Their goal is only one to keep you tied to, the platform for as long as possible. To achieve this, the algorithm selectively filters and constantly feeds your feed with only what you want to see. In this process, dopamine is released and the brain becomes addicted. The worst moment where what psychologists call status quo, bias and confirmation bias combine is repeated on your bed every single night. You fall into the deceptive illusion that the current state is not so bad, and the uncompromising stubbornness that only your thoughts are right becomes harder and harder inside you. Eventually, the bird inside the nest forgets the reason it needs to fly, and its wing muscles gradually become paralyzed. Later on, even if there are no bars and the door is wide open, you become unable to fly out on your own, falling deep into the swamp of learned helplessness. Many people watch self-improvement videos and read comforting books, getting intoxicated by a false sense of fulfillment that they are living diligently today. However, if you turn off the video, close the book, and do not move your real-world actions, even a single millimeter, that is not growth. It is merely self-gratification inside the nest. The fake knowledge fed to us by algorithms does not make us smart. Rather, it makes us picky eaters of information, completely depriving us of the flexibility of our thoughts. People who endure the cold feedback of the market and actually create something to succeed never grow in such a greenhouse. They are the ones who voluntarily reject the comfort provided by algorithms, walk out of the nest, face the harsh wind and rain of reality, and build psychological calluses. We call this resilience. The power to step over frustration and stand up again is not bred in a warm space that supports me, but when I collide with a rough external world that threatens and shakes me. The edge of the comfort zone, the very point where I begin to feel discomfort, is the only place where the true growth of my life begins. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." This old insight is the most urgent warning for modern people. You must intentionally face things that are not your taste, the unfamiliar knowledge of others that makes you uncomfortable, and unfamiliar areas that seem completely unrelated to your main field. The moment you create intentional cracks and shocks in your brain, the creative muscles and problem-solving abilities that had been paralyzed in comfort finally begin to wake up. It is a contradiction to hope that your world will expand while talking about the exact same things with the exact same people every day and consuming only the videos recommended by your algorithm. Breaking out of the nest does not mean a grand resolution or a massive migration. It starts with injecting intentional discomfort into your daily life. in very small units to break the walls of this cozy prison right now and regain control over your real life. Put 3 specific actions into practice. First is a major reset of the algorithm. Completely delete the search history and cookies of the video and social media accounts you are currently using, or create a brand new, clean alternative account with no data accumulated. Then face that screen. Raw trends of the world unmanipulated by algorithms and a harsh reality you were completely uninterested in will unfold before your eyes. The embarrassment and discomfort you feel while looking at that unfamiliar screen is the very first signal that your brain is coming back to life. You must walk out of the filter you like and witness with your own 2 eyes how the world is actually turning. Second is the intentional consumption of opposing content. At least once a week, pick up a book from a field you wouldn't normally look at in a bookstore, or carefully read the writings of someone whose political or philosophical leanings are the exact opposite of yours. Or you can open a specialized technical document in an unfamiliar field, completely unrelated to your job or tech stack. Throughout reading it, it will be boring, your brain will reject it, and you will want to close the window immediately. You must endure that rejection and pain. It is proof that your stagnant cognitive ability is moving fiercely to create new neural circuits. When you have a brain that can accept cognitive dissonance, your thinking completely breaks free from toxic, picky eating and expands massively. Third is the training of throwing incomplete results into the world. The biggest characteristic of people suffering from nest syndrome is that they delay starting indefinitely, claiming they are making a perfect plan. Inside the nest, everything looks perfect. There is no risk and no failure. But a plan that does not come into reality will always remain 0. Perfect preparation does not exist in the world, and the perfect timing never comes either. It doesn't matter what that incomplete project, currently sitting in your computer drawer or just inside your head, is. Throw it in front of the market and the public in its raw state today, and take in the cold and harsh feedback with your whole body. Only the process of identifying and correcting your weaknesses through that criticism and rejection will turn you into a true professional. We always stand at a crossroads. Will you live as a safe, paralyzed component that makes no progress, cradled in the arms of an algorithm that understands you perfectly? Or will you boldly kick away the comfort before your eyes, go out of the nest, collide, head on with harsh reality and build your own true world? A bird satisfied with a safe prison can never fly in the sky for a lifetime. The moment you betray comfort and choose discomfort, your true flight finally begins. The choice is always yours.